doing fine. It's a living life.
Namaste, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to the Way Om Yoga. My name is Sarah, and thank you for joining me today for this chair style yoga class dedicated to spinal health and spinal mobility. So this is a really good class if you're looking to cultivate more range of motion in the spinal column, if you're looking to maybe mitigate any type of back pain and increase overall flow and circulation to this area. Now, the only prop that you're going to need today is a chair, preferably one without arms like I'm sitting on right now. So go ahead and gather your things and meet me at the center of your mat. We'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to start by warming up with some cat and cow pose. Now, I'm going to kind of show you real quick from this angle how this is going to look. So I'm going to come to the very edge of my seat here. I'm going to be rooted down firmly through both feet, all 10 toes. I'm going to place the hands on the tops of the thighs. And as I inhale, my heart and chest is going to come forward for cow pose. And then as I exhale, I'm going to round through the spinal column here, drawing the navel in for cat, okay? So let's go ahead and just alternate between the two, just like so. Utilizing the breath. Just warming up. A lovely way to experience extension and flexion of the spine. So already, right off the bat, we're exploring the different degrees, the different ranges of motion that our spinal column can achieve. Okay, let's go for a couple more rounds here, just at your own pace. We'll go for one more. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent job, everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and face forward now. I'm going to turn my chair facing forward towards the front of the camera. And now we're going to take this over into extended side angle pose. So I'm going to step my feet a little bit wider than hip distance. My toes are going to turn out just slightly. And let's start by going over in the direction of the left wall to begin. So I'm going to bring my left forearm down to the top of the left thigh. And then I'm going to reach with that opposite hand up and over. So getting into some side or some lateral stretching of the spinal column. For added bonus points, if you want to catch the side of the head with that free hand, free arm, you're welcome to do that. What I find that does, it helps me to open up not just through the spine, but through this intercostal space here, those muscles that line the rib cage, and just allow us to take a deeper bottom belly breath, okay? So good for posture, so good for breath work. So this is the exhale here. Let's go ahead and take this on the opposite side. So inhale, exhale. Good. And inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Let's go for another round. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. We'll come back up to seated. We'll come back up to center. We'll bring those legs together, grabbing onto the seat of the chair. If you want to just, kind of kick out the feet a little bit, stomp the feet out, we'll do that. All right, so again, making your way to the edge of your seat, we're going to take this into some twists. So spinal rotation through the spinal column here. So let's go ahead and turn towards the left wall, shall we? So we'll reach out and over that opposite thigh here. So you can grab onto the end of your chair, the back seat of your chair, or just the seat here. And what I want you to do here with each inhale, rather than thinking of like cranking yourself deeper into this twist, I want you to see how tall can you get through that spine. So if I had this imaginary string at the crown of your head, what would that look like if I was pulling on that string just slightly, okay? So every inhale, let's get longer in the spine. Yeah. And then exhale, let's settle into that newfound space. Once again, let's inhale together. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Well done. We'll come back to center once again, and then we'll take this on the opposite side. So readjust if needed. Let's go ahead and take this into a twist on the opposite side. And again, same concept, just thinking of growing taller through the spine, not merely just twisting more, right? But how long can you get through the spine? Good. We'll stay for an inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. We'll return back to center once again. So now I'm going to walk you through how to come into crescent lunge. So let's go ahead and turn towards the left wall once again. We'll have the left leg in front to start us out. So you'll need to do some readjusting here on your chair, but most importantly, I want you to feel firmly supported in the pelvis. So I'm going to show you first what this is going to look like. So I'm going to extend my right leg back behind me. Now notice, see how my leg is fully extended here? That's not entirely necessary. If anything, I want to encourage you, if you need to walk that back foot in just a touch, maybe put like a bolster cushion, maybe a set of blocks underneath that leg for support if you need that, okay? But I'm going to show you what this looks like with the leg fully extended. And again, notice that I'm fully supported underneath my pelvis, especially that left hip, underneath the seat of the chair, and options with your hands. So you can place your hands on the seat of the chair for support, maybe the top of the thigh, maybe it might feel more comfortable to bring your hands together at heart center. Some of you may be able to fully root to rise up with the with the arms extended. Okay, so go ahead and pick your option, take what makes sense for you, and you can always revisit this video, okay? Keep practicing. So let's go ahead and make our way into crescent lunge all together. And again, just to review your options, take what makes sense for you. Again, we'll stay here for an inhale and exhale. And if you can, I want to encourage you with each inhalation, if you can find just even the slightest bit of extension. So what I mean by that, leaning back just a little bit. So that healthy compression for the spine, that healthy extension, that backward motion of the spinal column. This is so good for us to do. Let's hold for one more inhale, shall we? And exhale. Let's all come back to center. Take your time. Once again, if you just simply need to stretch out the legs, maybe stomp them out a little bit, whatever you need to do, okay, before we get the opposite side. All right. So I'm going to turn towards the right wall this time. Right foot is in front, and again, same options as far as your stance goes. Readjust as needed, grab whatever props you might need, okay? And again, taking your hands wherever they feel most supportive for you in this moment. All right, and we'll hold here together, starting on our next inhalation through the nose. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And we'll find that just slight back bend here on your next inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Let's draw the hands together at heart center. We'll make our way back to the center of the room, the center of our chair. Gorgeous, gorgeous, excellent work. And now we're just gonna conclude our class with the seated forward fold, okay? So taking flexion or that rounding of the spine, okay? So this could look one of two ways. You can either rest on the tops of the thighs here and just let the spine begin to round. Some of you may even wanna take it a step further and interlace your fingers behind that base of the head here and neck. So what I like to do is interlace my fingers there and then draw my elbows in, okay? So you could take this from this position. Some of you may be able to come all the way down
kind of letting that head and neck dangle freely. And again, this is called spinal flexion, seated forward fold. A lovely way to end our class and just to release any tension residing in the spinal column and in the head, neck, and shoulders. And let's go ahead and stay here, friends, for just 2 more cycles of breath. You can allow even your hands just to hang heavy here if you want to let go of the fingers interlace. Excellent. On your next inhalation, let's slowly roll back to seated position. Head and neck will be the last thing to come up. And there you have it, friends. So just a lovely way to get into the spine. So just to recap what we just did. So we got into some flexion, so that rounding of the spine. We got into extension, so a little bit of back bending. We also got into the side of the body here, so some lateral side to side movement. We also did some spinal rotation by taking twist, okay? So feel free to repeat this as many times as you need to. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Until next time. Namaste.